Okay, then let's see, maybe Alba. Okay, Nancy. Are you with us?
Nancy wrote her question to the chat.
Okay, I didn't see. Thank you, Elisa. So, no, but at the moment, any question? Okay. And so peer review also, Nancy. And then Matteo. Okay. So let's another message, sorry. No question, thanks. Okay. So just to give answer. So the peer review, I'm going to share my screen a little bit so we can see together. So the peer review that we are talking about is inside the platform, My Courses, of course, and then introduction. And introduction, you can see that there is also an introduction made by ETSIA, that is the organization who manage the certification, that maybe you can watch to have more details. And so here you can download the peer review, and then you can upload here. So from here you can download. Now I put here so I can open it. Just a second that I share my screen, entire screen. Okay, so can you see here the document? So this is the entry, the peer review document. So as you know, this project and the program, EUACA, foresees for all the people that conclude the course and the internship, a certification. This certification is made according to a European framework of indicators and rules that is called European EQF, so European Quality Framework. And so there are all a set of standards that define different levels of qualification. This program certifies for the level 4. And in order to deliver this certification, it should be not just the completing the ending of the course with the questionnaires and the takeaway test for each module and the internship completed, but also an entry level. So it means that the evaluator that evaluates and give the certification needs to understand what is the starting level of your qualification. So here it's a sort of CV. Basically, it's a sort of CV in which you are asked to report in a more detailed way, in the, can you say, as detailed as possible, all the information that is about your qualifications, your professional experience, your sport professional experience, your education and trainings, your competencies in the language skills, and other references. So, for example, in education and training, you here are asked to write the name that give you the qualification. So the university, for example, or another education institution. And then also the title that you have received, and the hours that you spent for receiving the qualification. That maybe in terms of university course can be also, for example, the credits. So this is the aim of this document, and this document will be read by the certificator, that is ETSIA, Euretics ETSIA, in order then to understand the level from which you start, and according to this, the final certification will be released. So now, since I think I don't know how much is clear now, let me understand Riccardo, and now I didn't remember the other people that asked in chat, if it's now it's a little bit more, it's clearer or not.
I think it's better. I think I understood now the task, and it was just about if it was just submitting and signing and submitting it, or just or even putting my informations in. So I might have actually a few things to write now that I know it. And in the top of the first page, there's written to attach a passport ID copy. Do I have to send it in the submit form? How do I do I just copy the number of the passport? What do I do? That one, and enclose the copy of passport.
Yeah. Here it means a copy of your passport or ID. So yeah, can we say a scanner?
I get
a
it.
scanner,
I get it.
a picture, yeah?
No, I get it. But this is my question. Do I have to enclose the copy with this paper or write the ID? Okay, the passport, the image. If I have an image, does it work? Okay, perfect.
Exactly. And of course, yes, also not just submit, but before fill in with the information requested as much as possible, and then yeah, here reporting with another paper, since it's Word, so you can add it, the picture of your document.
Okay. Thank you.
And you're welcome. And I ask also to the other tutors, do you have something to add here?
Can I just add one thing?
Yeah.
Into the platform, you will have also some paper that explain how the peer review could be fill in. But if you have any question, you can of course call me. I'm talking about the Italian group, and if we have some difficulties, we can also share with you like an example of the past peer review, or we can also contact Giovanni of ETSIA to clarify more if you need it.
So Veronica, you mean this file, ETSIA peer review entry-level assessment? No, which file here is?
There is a video.
This one, the PDF, that is in which there is an explanation of what you can write inside the document. So it's here, ETSIA peer review entry-level assessment, the PDF
Yes.
document.
And also, if you, Cosimo, can go just, yes, there is also a video about the introduction. It's called Introduction, but explain better what is the purpose of the peer review and how to fill in. But as I said, if you have difficulties, you can, of course, text me or call me, and just we can see together.
Okay. Others, tutors want to add something? Otherwise, I will skip to the question about the module D, and then I skip to the question about internship. So Elisa, if you want. Elisa, do you want to give an answer about communication module and task?
Yeah. So we discussed today in the morning with Cosimo that probably we would like you to make the final communication module task as a group work for our final live that we will have with you at the very end of the project. So that's, I think, somewhere in the beginning of March, or yeah, we don't know the exact date yet, but the task will be your final test number 2 or homework number 2. It's
I'm going to share the screen.
yeah,
Elisa?
maybe you can, Cosimo, share the screen of the communication module.
Second. So module D.
So no, up.
Sorry, communication. Yeah. We are talking about homework 1, no, homework 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this one, we think that it would be easier and more useful for you to do it in groups. And we think about national groups. So you will do this in your national group. And I will also write to the tutors of each country to help you with it if you have any questions. And they will probably, you don't have to download it to the program page, but you will have to present it as a PowerPoint presentation on the last live. So that this is our idea right now. And here you can read that the last homework assignment was to study a visual identity of your home. I think you should do it with your home country sports clubs. It would be easier for you. And find 5 negative and positive aspects. And also the last part of it is to create a visual media announcement for an upcoming sports event. You will just, it's fictional. It can be a fictional sports event that you decide. For example, in this program, we want you to make a sports event for children. So I advise you to keep with the same idea as you have in the program. So the target group should be children from ages 6 to 11, maybe. And it should be a visual, like poster or something like that, announcement. And during the live, you can mention the channels where you want to use it and how do you plan to promote your event. But yeah, it's a fictional event. It's up to you. So if you have right now any questions, we will write the information about it and when it has to be ready, the final deadline, also to the platform. So right now I have actually only one question, like maybe some of you have already finished it individually. No. If somebody else has, then I think we can also accept that work, and you don't have to do it again.
Well, but I mean, it's a way to also to work in group, no? So, and also to work with tutors and project managers. So, of course, it can bring an added value also there. I mean, here it's an idea to give you the opportunity to discuss together also and to make an output together, to use also the national network with your organization, so put in contact with your managers and tutors, and then we will have in the last meeting here we all together the opportunity to exchange the results with the other participants, and so each organization can exchange ideas on it. So this is our idea in order to promote exchange among us. Then, as Elisa said, we are going to send you the deadline. We are going to send you a little bit the steps of these activities after the end of this meeting that we are now attending.
I also advise you to leave the who hasn't done the communication module yet, to leave it to be the last one then. So try finishing up the other modules first, and so you can leave this group work as your last task.
Okay, yes, now so we are going to share this information also through the chat and maybe through also the national chat. What do you think about it? Do you have question? Do you understand?
Well understood, thank you.
Okay, great. And about the internship, so Sugandha, what is your the organization? I think TUEL, Enrico?
Yes. So we have a plan that we have a so-called National Skiing Day, and there is a Ville who was a tutor before during the internship. He has contacted Uganda, and we plan some kind of role for her for this activity. So we are contacting you in future and see more about that. And the day is in mid-February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we use that activity, the timetable fits fine. So.
Okay. Great. Well, I think that it's really okay with the timetable. The time of the ending of the program formally is on 3rd of March. So even if there is, for example, some activities or task in terms of internship that is a little bit over this period, we can easily discuss together. So just to try to fit as much as possible with the needs of everyone. Okay. So Sugandha, is it clear? I mean, yeah, great. Maybe in meanwhile, other questions arise about the platform and the program. Okay. If not, I will skip to the working group activity. So now just to understand how many we are. 1, 2. We are 12, but I didn't understand if everyone can actively participate or not. So I will ask again, so to understand how many of you can talk and watch the screen. So I guess Mirko, Matteo, and Riccardo, Aisa, and Sugandha, yes. So if you can react with your, I mean, in somehow it would be great. Yeah. Thank you, Matteo.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Well,
Yes, I can too, but I need to leave like in 20 minutes.
yeah, okay. So we are going to do like this, that we don't divide into groups. We work in one group, and so here the idea is to watch one of the video of one of the modules. Maybe someone of you already watched it. It's not a long video. And then the idea is to try to discuss about 2 questions. So maybe I can create a sort of rooms in which you can work together. Just to share again my screen. So here the idea is to go so on the modules on the module hard skills specific knowledge, the module D, and Andrea Marchi, okay, if you can wait, we can watch. I think maybe we can watch, for example, this video. That is a video made through the involvement of a person that was in charge of the organization of a sport event. And through this video, we can try to ask to 2 questions that are just guiding our discussion. So the first one is to think about differences and similarities that could be between the organization of a grassroots and a sport event and a professional sport event, according to what we can hear by the voice of this sport expert. And the other one is what are, in our opinion, the main tasks and milestones that a sport manager should consider in the organization of a sport event. So let's get inspired by this video, and then we can, I mean, if we can involve also the tutors and we can create 2 groups maybe. So maybe it's more funny. First of all, I would like to understand if you understood what we are going to do. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to try to create the rooms. Okay, so Veronica will assist me. And we can create 2 groups. Veronica, if you can separate with the tutors and people that can talk in I mean, equal way. First question, did you understand? And second, have you already watched that video? So, Veronica, when you are ready. Oh. Andrea, yes?
Yeah, just I said it before, I'm available in almost 10 minutes. I can fully respond to all the tasks, all the tasks of the different groups. Maybe I've got just one question for more information reason. If it's possible to, I don't know if you said that before, but if it's possible to maybe have quick response on the way that the platform works. Okay, after this call, maybe.
Okay, yeah, you can always write to Veronica and Paola that are your tutor and manager anyway. Yeah, so
Okay,
for sure, and
perfect.
Veronica. So Veronica,
Just
we have
for security, for more security reason, to understand everything and not fall in any kind of problem.
Yeah, for sure, we are at
Thank
disposal.
you.
So we have problem with rooms. Okay, so let's do here. So I ask you to watch the video. I mean, it's better to watch it. Can we say separately? All of us can watch the video. Are you able to do it? I mean, I can give you the link that also in YouTube. Maybe it's better. So I put in the chat. So let's watch it and meet here in. Okay, so maybe this one is shorter because I understood that you have no 8 minutes. So yes, when it's finished, let's meet here again, and then we can open the discussion all together about it. And so did you see the link in the chat? Okay, so let's meet here in 8 minutes. Okay, thank you.
10 minutes. I finished the video.
Okay, great. So I think that we can start to share some ideas. I mean, I watched again this video and I found it, even if it's brief, really with a full of aspects that in the last event I participated as one of the organizer, really realistic. So I will open you can open your mic and start to think maybe about if you think that there are differences and similarities between a grassroots amatorial sport event and a professional one. And because this one was a grassroots one, if you have listened, and if yes, which one? And then also about the checklist. So what are the main tasks and milestones and steps that you think are important to consider in an organization of an event? Also, if you have experience about it, you can share and start from there. Yeah, Ricardo?
So I think that the main similarity that links the two events is that basically, depending on the sport, I might talk from my part by myself about football because I work in the football industry, so I might talk about that. But I know that boxing, for example, works on events, while football is about weekends, week in, week out. So when you talk about managing an event or preparing, setting things to prepare all the show, both ways, amateur and professional. I think that as the manager said, it's important to set yourself a schedule, set yourself a deadline, and start early. So don't add up things in the last week because it might be dangerous, as many things can happen. I know it by myself. I know that when you try to set some things up at the last time, it's always a mess. Something happens. That's the baseline. And I think that professionals, when you talk about professional, it's more about the sport event. It's more about the show. And when you talk about the grassroots event, it might be more about more about the sport, the sport by itself, the activity proposed. But there are differences. I mean, it depends by the sport. This is my opinion.
Yeah, for sure, it's clear. Well, there is interesting things in what you have said. I ask also tutors to be prepared to add their experience or opinions. But Andrea, now I see with your raised hand.
Yes, of course. I can speak about different situation where I work like volunteers, because with the civil service that I made with HS, I've got also an association, and we organize a lot of events, focused on different teams. And I'm also a photographer, so I work like a volunteer in a lot of different maybe events, the most important event in my city. So I saw a lot of the situation, a lot of different situation, and what I think that can be the most powerful thing is to divide all the role of maybe someone that has the maybe the aim to organize something connected to the communication, something connected to the management of the holders of the athletic, of the athlete, and also of the whole of the maybe people that are invited to speak in all of these different events. Maybe it's also important to create a financial plan that can consider a little budget for maybe some difficulties, and like the other guy said before, and like the women in this video said, it's important to consider a lot of time before the real events to schedule all the things, to organize it in the better way, by considering also all the problems that can be meet during the organization.
Well, thank you, Andrea. A lot of interesting tips, and I would like to understand if there are other opinions. Janne?
Thank you. Well, I'm actually working on this year's GP on the team, and I say the most or the biggest difference between grassroots and like professional is the limited time we have, as almost most of the team are working normal jobs during the day, and as said in the video, the organizing of the tournament is more like a hobby to them. So that limits the time that we have, and like most of our meetings are done in the evening, and also things doesn't like we don't do things as fast as we do in professional events, as most of the group is actually working on it or get paid from it. And also the financial structure is, I think it's a bit more strict, as we are not looking for financial victory or win on the event itself. So it limits our financial assets a bit. But otherwise, I think that the structure is almost completely same to professional events. We need like the key aspects. We need marketing, we need financial management, and all the same stuff we need in professional events, but we do it differently. So the main aspects are the same, I think.
Yeah, I'm agree what you said, and it's interesting that you have took the aspect of financial, because of course it's similarity and a difference also. And yes, thank you, Janne. Someone else? Maybe someone that want to ask or add something to what the other said. So it's an open discussion. And also the tutors, if they think they would like to. Riku?
Thank you, sir. I think that ladies said one important thing, and it is a trust between people who are working together. So she said that when there is a trust, you can give the task to others and to know that they will be done. And of course, when you are project manager, you need to do the checkups and check that all is working. But without trust, there is no working activities, I think.
Yeah, this is in every professional fields, and in particular in which the one in which there are more people that work with different roles in the same team for the same objectives. So for sure. And something else?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
Mirko?
like to say that the most important thing that I have, I think, understood is that we have to adapt, then yeah, improvise and achieve the goal. I mean, is that the final the method a sport manager has to have, I think, and yeah, that's it.
So you're saying that the sport manager should set goals, and I understood well, Mirko?
No, I mean the a sport manager has to adapt to each possible situation.
Yeah.
A difficult one, improvise if necessary, and however achieve the goal. I think is a brief sentence to summarize a little bit the mood that a sport manager has to have.
To be prepared.
Yeah.
To be prepared to all the situation and the possibilities. Yes, of course. Have you ever participated to a sport event organization, Mirko?
Yes, one time for my organization, led by Giovanni Gordiani. But it was only a really really a small event. I mean, there weren't so much people to advertise, for example, what we do with the ETSE organization. So, but however, yes, we had a gazebo for the possible for the possible questions of the people that were around the event.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Great. Daria and then Matteo.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit about maybe the difference and also similarities between professional sports events and also grassroots sports events. Is that, of course, both events need audience because all the sport at least they want to be watched, how they are, I don't know, breaking records or whatever. And for amateur sports events, it's much harder to get the audience because, you know, there are not any big results or, you know, so for example, if we compare like Olympic Games, people are like fighting over places to watch it. Whereas for amateur sports, it's really hard to promote this event for a bigger audience. And this is why the communication managers have to work, let's say, double as much to sell, if you will, this event, that it's actually, you know, it brings value, because actually it's open to everyone, right? So it should not be only parents and children and, you know, friends watching, but many more people. So this is, you know,
the other athletes waiting for the next game.
Exactly, yeah.
For the next match. Yes, of course. Yeah, this aspect of audience, that is the one that said Riccardo. I mean, sport itself versus the show. So maybe professional sport can count on show. Show brings audience brings sponsor, and more money. So of course, this is the.
And just because, you know, there are not so many big results involved, also there is no media so much interested in those events, because it's, you know, it's just amateurs basically competing against each other, and yeah, there is nothing so big. But I think this is wrong.
It's more people oriented and based on the possibility to give the opportunity to everyone to have fun, meet other people, and also compete in a protect and safe context and professional, because grassroots and amatorial doesn't mean that it's not professional, because even if you are a voluntary, if you work in a professional way, you can provide a good service. So for sure. Yeah, really interesting. And thank you, Daria. And Matteo?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I thought it was interesting how they started organizing the event 12 months ahead of time. For example, when we organized an event here, we started 2 months ahead, and it caused a bit of issues because when you get to like the final week, other people working on the project just want to add stuff. So maybe if we get like a 6 months head start, we could resolve those issues a bit faster. And then just the difference between a grassroots and a professional organization, let's say, yes, it's the financial issue, but I've also found we can't find volunteers which are qualified for the position, especially for communication and social media.
So the difference is that for a grassroots sport event, it's difficult to have people who work on the different tasks needed. Is this it?
Yeah, like we were looking for someone to handle our social media, but most of the people we found wanted to get paid, obviously, a decent salary as well. So it's a bit hard under that aspect, which, yeah, it's still financial, but yeah.
Yeah, this is something really, I mean, important. And yeah, Daria, for sure, you are the social media manager of CSIT. So
I just wanted to answer to this comment from Matteo. Yeah, it is hard to get people to want to work for you for free. But imagine that this actually is coming back to the point that I have made before, is that imagine you are a social media manager and you're being offered to work for Olympic Games for free. Would you agree?
No, probably not.
But it's Olympic Games. I mean, if you're a fan of Olympic Games or whatever other event you like, I think people would be more willing to work on a voluntary basis because they can put it in their CVs, you know, and it's a good exposure for you and so on and so on. So, I mean, this is at least my opinion. And this is why I think events should have a brand and they should have exposure to as many people as possible so that you can have more people willing to work for you for free because they are just working for that event, you know?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, just to add that, of course, it's a matter. Then, Ricardo, I will leave you the floor. It's also a matter of size, maybe. I mean, and how much you are able to spend, the numbers that you can reach and the objectives that you can bring. We know, for example, that grassroots events can be also an opportunity for tourism, for example. So, of course, but this starts from a brand, and of course, it's necessary. For example, I was in charge of volunteers recruitment for international event, and of course, you cannot count on the same tools that Olympic Games have. That one call in their website and their social, and they can count on. I think in Tokyo there were 20,000 volunteers, and for us that we had an event of 6,000 participants, we were able to reach to recruit 100 volunteers, but we had a staff that worked on it. So I mean, we used other channels that was more local, through the schools, through the university, through the sport clubs. So, of course, also trying to meet the needs of a young volunteer. And as Daria said, something that can be used in their CV also, that also an experience in an international event, for example, can be used, even if it's not professional, just to add some elements coming from the experience anyway. Ricardo?
Yeah, so if I may, I'm just add a few things by my side. I think that nowadays there's no such thing as an event that doesn't draw attention, because that is a sport event that doesn't draw attention. Because I think whether it's like college sport, whether it's like amateur sport, grassroots sport, professional sports, it always draws attention by some way, somehow. There's always audience. Let's take an example. Grassroots is an easy target, because as you set things up for a grassroots event for kids, their parents would just be enough for the audience. For the amateur phase, well, let's not skip these parts. For the college, for example, there might be just friends of who play that build the audience. For amateur, there might be parents, but as well as friends, as son, daughters, as children that are being withdrawn in the event sport. And let's not talk about the professional sport, which is basically you pay and you see a show, and everyone wants to see a show when they pay a ticket. But I think that nowadays, this is my opinion. I think that nowadays, whatever sport event, the attention, there's attention anyway, everywhere, because a sport is a game, and it might be fun. So this is the baseline of a sport. It's a game, whether it's like boxing, tennis, football, and I think that from my experience, I actually worked for a five-a-side a futsal team here in Italy that basically has just volunteers. No one's paid, and we always have audience when we go to see their matches, when we go to see their championship. I think that this is a fair point that shows us that we do make the difference as project managers. If our offer is big enough, well structured enough, I think that audience is always there. There's no way there's a sport event without audience nowadays. This is my opinion, because I this is my experience.
Yeah, for sure, everything can have an audience. Sometimes it's a matters of how you reach and how you are able to reach that audience in terms of communication, let's say. Something else that you want to add, Elisa? Yes.
Yes, in terms of communication nowadays, I also feel that it's extra important to make yourself seeable and distinguished, which means also it's connected to Daria's point that you need a brand, that people recognize you, because everybody uses social media nowadays. So there is also a lot of like information overflow. So you need to really stand out with your events in the social media, because everybody is using it, and it might happen that you like people are so overdriven by the information overflow that you get lost otherwise if you're not enough distinguishable, if you don't have your own like brand that people recognize. And I think that is one of the like main challenges not only in sports field but everywhere right now. I can say that I work in education, and also we need to promote our lessons and classes, and it's really hard because the competition is big. So good communication and good visual media is really important nowadays. Yeah, but also back to this topic about audience, I also think it really depends also the location and population. So yeah, I know that Tokyo had I don't know how many did you say, 25,000 volunteers. But if we also look at the population of Japan, then it's much bigger than any country in Europe. So we have to like also look where is the event, if it's in a big city, big town, or in a small place. That also makes the numbers of how we can gather volunteers and how many there are, so we can estimate that. So it's good sometimes to compare, but sometimes it's like you need to compare not with Tokyo, but maybe some local who is more similar.
No, of course, it wasn't a comparison. To say that we can do as Tokyo. No, it was to say in Olympic Games you can count on channels that are more powerful than the ones that you can have. And of course, you have to adapt your channels and your communication to recruit according to the territory in which you are, the objectives that you have, the resources. I mean, Paris is not Tokyo in terms of population, but I'm sure that we'll have the same numbers. And yeah, so I don't know who is the first, if Veronica or Andrea, anyway, as you wish.
To this last topic, I would also add about the communication, but to just make an highlights also to the network that the grassroots sport organization in this case should develop with the local institutions and all the association and society and schools and everything that are on the field, to promote and to disseminate and to communicate the event, because the professional events and the how can we say, for example, the Olympic Committee game or the Federation games and competitions sometimes are also funded by the federations, and someone maybe could work behind the scenes to create network and to create the way to find money and sponsors. The grassroots sport organization should work as a unique group. So the project managers should contact, as Daria said before, a social media manager into the organization, and then there are the sport director, and then there are other roles. So I think that the grassroots sport organization have less people that work at these events, but the work is bigger than the professional, and then how can we say, also about, I was thinking about the sustainability in economic terms, about the money. Sometimes the athletes of the Olympic Games and the federation are paid to compete. In the grassroots sport organization, we don't have this kind of rules of, as we say, a reward. So it's a little bit difficult for us to organize and to promote and to sustain the events. So more communication, more network, and more everything.
Thank you, Veronica. Andrea, you had raised your hand if you want to.
Yeah, of course. Now I'm back home with a more stable connection, and then I can speak better about maybe one of the most important things for me. Following the experience gained in different fields, I mean, when you work with passion, when you make something that brings to you maybe some compliments, maybe some new skill, by acquiring new skill, I think that this can be one of the best way to be paid. Okay, it can be also a way to learn more about your passion. It can be also a way to learn more about your difficulties and learn more about what are the problems that can be can prevent from this type of this type of events. So sometimes the passion is the best money I can say.
Yeah, for sure. Passion is the starting point. I would like to share with you, then, I mean, you can also add something, but just briefly to let you understand that also if it's a grassroots event, it doesn't mean that there are not also organizational aspects to consider. For example, this is the last event we have organized as CSIT through the contribution of AICS. So the World Sport Games are the international competition, sort of Olympic Games for amateurs that CSIT organize every 2 years. And as in the Olympic Games, there are the federation in the national country that I mean, organize it. In this case was AICS in Italy. And this is the list of people who worked in the staff to organize the event, that is called Organizing Committee, okay? And then the local expert on the right, that are the people in charge of the management of the championship, because the World Sport Games have different kind of championship, from athletics to basketball to beach volley, some multi-sport events. So as you can see here, there is a project manager that is the coordinator of all the people that work for the event. Then there are people that are in charge of the sport program, so that put in contact the venues with the needs of the sport managers that are in charge of the different sport championships, and also have to follow the regulamentations of the single sport. Then there is a press office for the communication activities, IT manager, because we had a app and a platform for the registration. Then, as I said, the coordination for volunteers, so from the recruitment to the management during the days of all the tasks. Then, since we need to provide fun during an event, and not just the sport, but also after sport, there was a person in charge of side activities. So, I don't know, for example, the evening program in the bar that we have rented, so aperitifs, but also cultural programs, for example, workshop. Then there was all people that here was a different agency. So anyway, people that work for accommodation and transfer and transports. So you need to ensure that people, when arrive at the airport or the train station, they can reach the venues and they have an accommodation, so a hotel for which the people pay. So in this case, people pay to participate. So you need to provide a good service for them. Then there is also people that work for sponsorship and marketing to find money from third parties, and not just private, because Grassroots Sport Event has the opportunity to apply and to ask for public funds also, because our event that can promote, for example, social inclusion. And then there is also people that are in charge of the connection between the organization committee and the municipality, and also more institutional role. But this is something peculiar of this event. So just to say that I don't want to spend, I mean, then if you have questions, you can also ask or write us. I mean, just to show you that this was a grassroots sport event. It was international, but you have seen that also in grassroots, the organizational part is needed. Even if it's small, even if it's big, the project manager and the sport manager should have in mind that need to coordinate, even if are two people that work under him or with him, even if they are volunteers, even if there are less money. If there is one field, anyway, you need to be sure that that field at that time will open and everything is there to make the people participate and compete. So it's a terms of always skills and anyway, capabilities. So just to give you a final overview on the grassroots sport event. Anyway, now I see that is 6:20, so I don't know if you have final questions. Otherwise, in my opinion, we have gone deep in the subject. So maybe it's time for going to drink something, I hope, for you. Or maybe you have to work, I don't know. Anyway, just to conclude, this is the last month of our program. Thank you for participation here. I hope that you like this way to have chat on subjects that are the subject of our EUACA program. You will receive information about the next meeting in 1 month, I think we will be, and about the activities to do together to reach it. We have seen that just a few of you completed the modules. So let's think about, you have 1 month to do it, okay? And we are at disposal anyway for answering your question and help you anytime. So from my side, thank you very much. And if there is no any other questions or the tutors want to add something. no? So we can say ciao.